Now that we have populated the entire spreadsheet for this cybersecurity project, let's use conditional formatting to highlight certain dates on the sheet. What if I wanted to highlight any dates that are still in the future? What would I do? Well, I could use the conditional formatting tool, which is found in the Home tab. Then you click on Conditional Formatting. Then you click on New Rule. I can come down to Use Formula to determine which cells to format. Then in here, this is the formula I would type. Today, open bracket, close bracket. So whenever you use the today command, it gives you the current date. So I'm going to say today minus G1. Now G1 is the row that has the dates that I'm comparing it to. And I'm going to say if that date is less than 0, that means it's a date in the future, right? Because if I do today minus a date in the future, the date in the future is going to be a higher sequential number than today's date, so I'm going to get a negative number. I'm going to now say, what do I want to happen? Let's say I wanted to highlight yellow when this happens. So when this is true, when today minus the date in column G is less than 0, highlight it in yellow. Click OK. Okay, so nothing happened. And I think I know why. I forgot to select the column I want to highlight. So let's come back here to conditional formatting, come to manage rules. So this is the rule we just created. You can see it applies to only one place, K79, which nothing's going to happen there. So let's have it apply to the entire row G. So let's come here, select that. Now it applies to row G. Now when I click OK, and there you go. Now it's highlighting all the dates in the future. All right. And just to show you the calculation it's doing, let's just come over here and do it. Right. If I do today's date, right, today, hit enter, that'll give me today's date, right? Okay. I'll convert this to sequential by coming to right-clicking on it, clicking on Format Cells, going to General. That's a sequential date. Okay. Now, what if I did today's date minus the date on column G, and I also want it to be sequential again. So it's 90. And let me do this for every row. So you'll notice that all the ones where it's minus, those are the ones that were highlighted. See, -2, it was highlighted. -74, it was highlighted. So that formula I typed in the conditional formatting was just doing this, right? It was just saying, highlight it if today minus the date on column G is less than 0. There's two more things I want to show you with conditional formatting. Let me first of all select the entire section. Okay. I come back to Home, I come to conditional formatting, click on New Rule. This time I want to select Format Only Cells That Contain, because I want to format a cell that contains a certain value. Set it to equal to, and this time set it to high. So I want to format only cells that contain high. Let's make this green. Click OK. And there you go. All the cells that contain high are highlighted in green. So what if I want to select the row where the severity is high and the environment is production? I'm going to introduce a new function for you. It's called the AND function. And I'm going to help you understand how Excel works with these different Booleans. So let me start with looking at column C, the severity. So let's say I say equals C2. Actually, let me put this in a parenthesis to make it easier to read. Equals C2 equals medium. What would happen if I did that? It will say true, because C2 is equal medium. What if I change that to high? It will say false, because C2 is not equal false. Also, if I say equal H2 equals non-production, it will say true. If I make it equal to UAT, it will say false. So how can I do a combination of both? That's where the AND statement comes in. I will say AND, then what's the first one I want to have equal? I want to have C2 equals high, and I want to have H2 equal production. So in this case, it's false. But when it's true, like this one, high and production, I want to highlight this row. Okay? So I've set an additional column in order to highlight a row that has that. First of all, let me select all rows. I go to conditional formatting, go to new rule, go down to use a formula to determine which cells to format. In there, I'll say equals J1 equals true. And I will make this orange. Okay? Click OK. And so, anywhere where J1 is true, it will highlight it. So it's working. So that's how you can use conditional formatting to highlight different cells and rows in your Excel spreadsheet.